What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. The other day, I tried out a Politoed team in the Go Battle League, and I keep on seeing comments of people wanting me to try out its older brother, Poliwrath. It's a very interesting Pokemon, right? It's also using Mudshot, just like Politoed, as a fast attack, but as a water and fighting type Pokemon. You have Dynamic Punch, you have Icy Wind, so honestly, it's a quite different Pokemon, but it's a lot of fun to use, and I'm excited to see what it can do. Real quick, though, before we get into the battles, I do want to ask if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Helps out quite a bit, and I'd really appreciate it. But let's get to the battles and see what Poliwrath can do. Alright, we got our first opponent of the day with our Poliwrath team. Kind of a cool Pokemon, as long as we don't see terrible leads. And this could be pretty good for us. As long as they're not on Mud Bomb, I hardwall all of their energy. But if they are on Mud Bomb, then it's only just kind of neutral for us, so we'll see what they want to do. I'm going to Dynamic as quick as I can here, because I know if they do have Mud Bomb, I want to guarantee to win CMP and just land some heavy damage before they can try to switch out. And because this is likely a Mud Bomb Quagsire, it's really nice that my backline, especially my Tickaton is not seeing this, so I guess we'll figure out at this point if they actually do have Mud Bomb. I wouldn't understand why they'd stain if they didn't. Yeah, okay, big Mud Bomb coming through. And at this point, I can Dynamic Punch and knock out, which means they might go for a catch here. So I'm going to go for the Icy Wind just to play it a little bit safer, that is, jeez. Just in case they go for the switch, they would get debuffed, and if they don't, I mean, I should still survive this Mud Bomb, and, oh, yeah, nice. We actually get a shield on the debuff there. That's kind of big. This thing's going to be in range where even my Tinkaton could deal with it if it has to. And I can bring in my Licky Licky to not get farmed down. And hopefully Licky Licky up his shield should be pretty good. Alright, we end up baiting out an Empoleon here. So I'm pretty sure at this point I have a good idea of what the final Pokemon's going to be. I wouldn't be surprised at this point if it's a Feraligatr in the backline, just that triple water team. If that's the case, then I guess we'll see what we can do here. I can understand why they wanted to get rid of my my Poliwrath, obviously. Let's see, Hydro comes through. It does hurt quite a bit, but we do survive it. And I should get another Shadow Ball here first, but it'll be close. Because Empoleon takes 5 to get to their next move, and they were dry when they threw, so yeah, we do just barely get this. And I think at this point, our opponent's going to have to go for his shield if they want to completely get overturned by this Empoleon, or by this Licky Licky, rather. Okay, we go for a catch attempt. We don't quite get it, but we do... Oh! Huh. Okay, well, this is fine. We bait out the final Pokemon here. It's a Fearow. I was gonna say, I don't really know what they're gonna do this game, but, like, if they have this in the backline, that's really nice to see. I guess at this point what I want to do here is build up a little bit of extra energy, shield a Drill Run, unless they go for a Drill Peck bait, but I still have energy on my Licky Licky, and I'm not that scared of Empoleon with my Tinkaton here. I'm not that scared of this Fearow if I can knock it out before they get a Drill Run off, so... Okay, this is going to be an interesting game. Gigaton Hammer should knock out. Yeah, Fearow's not known for its bulk. Not the team I thought it was going to be, but kind of a cool team here by them. Alright, I'm going to shield the Mud Bomb up. I mean, obviously it's going to do a lot more damage than the Empoleon can throw, right? So, if I just shield this up and build up enough energy to go for Bulldoze into that Empoleon, that's all we really need. They do go for an interesting play here, where they CMP us on an attack. That's not a bad play by them, but here's the thing. My Licky Licky is so close to a Body Slam right now that if we force energy out of the Quagsire, then we should just get a Body Slam against them, even if Tinkaton does go down. Alright, Bulldoze should get the knockout here, and now, I mean, as long as we win CMP, we win, and if we don't win CMP and they don't go for the Aqua Tail, that also is a win. But even if they throw their energy, we just Body Slam and we just knock them out that way. So nice. Not the team I thought it was. I thought it would be a Feraligatr in the backline, but even still, Tinkaton and Licky Licky in the backline, putting in so much work. So let's go. Oh, yikes. I don't love this lead, though. Fearow. I just saw Fearow a second ago. It was in the backline. So much easier to deal with there. But honestly, I think on this Stay Swap here, Licky Licky should be in a pretty good spot. What I'm going to try to do is I think 3 Body Slams is the play. The worst thing about this is they can just go and spam out probably Aqua Tails into us, and 3 Aqua Tails from a non-shadow might be enough to knock us out. We'll see. I don't know. I don't see a lot of non-shadow Quagsires. Like, what do they even run? Are they on Stone Edge or Mud Bomb? I guess it is good to bait this out to make sure that my Tinkaton does avoid it, but, like, even still, I don't necessarily love seeing Quagsire in this matchup. If they are on Aqua Tail Stone Edge, though, we know we do actually wall them. Oh, wow, they actually are. Okay. So, I guess we'll go for the Shadow Ball here, get as much raw damage as we can. And at this point, what I'd love to see is, honestly, I would love to get a shield from them. Which we might or we might not. If we get a shield right now, I'd be really happy. If we don't, it could be just a little bit dicey, depending on what happens. But we'll see what they do. They let that go. That's smart. Do 3 Pecks knock us out? I think they do. I have to switch, which is so bad for us. But, like, I can't really stay in there, right? There's no way. I'm going to shield this up. I know I don't get one-shot by a drill run, but I also know I don't want to take that chip damage anyway. I need to keep my health this game if I can. Okay. Bug-Bite Fortress in the backline. Not exactly what I was expecting to see, but it is playable. Maybe. I don't know. At least I have Icy Wind on my Poliwrath, right? So that's what I'm hoping is going to win us this game. I should survive a move here from this, right? And that's like one of the helpful things about this situation. The big problem being, though, that Furo is going to be so hard to take down. I'm going to go Gigaton Hammer. And at this point, I don't even know. Do I have... Like, I need to get his shield here. If I get his shield right now, I might still have a chance of winning. But if they no-shield this, which they probably do, I'm not sure. They do let that go. That's a smart play. I'm going to go for a bit of a risky play here because I think I have to. I'm going to try to get a debuff with my Bulldoze. And they have to shield this. Surely they have to. And hopefully my Poliwrath at this point... Oh, we don't get the debuff? Well, that sucks. But I should get Icy Winds against them, which might be helpful. Honestly, if I get enough Icy Winds against them, even just one, could potentially make it so I get a Body Slam off with my Licky Licky. The big problem being, though, that I don't know if I've done enough damage here, especially without getting that defense drop, that I can put them into a range where the Body Slam would knock them out. Because Mudshot does nothing to Furo, right? Alright, we get the shield, and these Pecks are still doing so much damage. That's unfortunate. They throw a little bit soon, so if I do survive this, that's good for us. But I don't know if I do. I think that a super effective Drill Peck, even at -1, is probably still just enough. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Alright. No! If I could have got there, there'd still be a chance. I tried to get the move off after the debuff, but it was just too much. That's unfortunate. Alright, next opponent. No more Furos, at least not in the lead. I can deal with them in the backline, but in the lead, that is so bad. What the heck? Okay, this is kind of like the same thing, but also, like, completely different. It has Peck, right? But at least I don't get outpaced. But man, I'm taking so much damage from Fast Food Pressure. Seeking's so cool, because next season, Drill Run's going to be straight 5s to reach, so I almost wonder if next season Seeking could be a good Pokemon. Dynamic Punch gets a shield. Alright, dude. We're going to bring in our Licky Licky here and just try to take some damage, maybe make them go for a debuff against us. They should right now be at 10, so 1 away from their, or 2 away rather from back-to-back moves. They go for Icy Wind, so they just want to debuff us here. Oh, I wonder why they'd want to do that. What could they possibly be doing that for? The classic debuff and come in Licky Licky strategy. What is this, the EUIC meta? It's kind of looking like it. If I can ever just save this energy, though, in Licky Licky, that's going to be good. My Poliwrath is looking pretty strong this game so far. They're at 7, so I guess if they have Hyper Beam, they would be able to throw it right about now. But if they don't, then I'm fine. Yeah, just Body Slam. Okay. Let's just switch out here, try to build up energy. And, I mean, they can probably knock out our Poliwrath if they really want to, but they'd have to go for 2 attacks against us to do so. And I have enough of an energy lead here that I should get to another move against that Seeking. Interesting. They do actually end up going for the Body Slam here. I think I will shield this up, because if Seeking does come back in, at this point, I should be able to go for that Dynamic Punch into them, or, you know, as far as they know, it's a Dynamic Punch. We're going for the Icy Wind bait, which could be a really bad play here, but honestly, it might be a really good play. It's a good play, because we get a shield. Now, do we get another move off, or do we just give him more farm? Honestly, looks like we just gave him a lot more farm, which could be very scary, but that's fine. Surely we wanted them to get that farm. I'll take some damage on my Tinkaton, and then I think I'm going to swap in to my Licky Licky and go double Body Slam. If I can. Oh, okay. Fun. Fun. I think I have to shield this, honestly. I didn't really want to have to take this energy here, but looks like I'm going to have to. I'm going to go Shadow Ball instead, just so I can get this damage off before they can switch out. Because if they get 2 attacks off first, that almost certainly means at this point that they're going to be able to switch out before I get another move into them. Yeah, there's a swap. But at least I landed the Shadow Ball against that Seeking, and there's a good chance getting Shadow Ball against them puts them into more of a farm down range for Tinkaton later on. And if I get another Body Slam into this Licky Licky, they should be in farm down range now. So this is not the end of the world, but they are building up more energy than they would have to. So this matchup's still going to get tricky. I'd love to be able to switch out and catch a Body Slam if I could. Okay, looks like we can. And this might be, like, helpful in some ways, but if they Shadow Balled our Licky Licky, then that's worse. Come on, don't Shadow Ball, trainer. Thank you for the Body Slam. Please don't have another one. They have another move. Please at least just be a Body Slam. Give me a bit of play this game, please. Give me a little bit of hope. Okay, it's just a Body Slam. That's all I could ask for at this point. I think I have to go for a Fairy Wind down to have any play. Okay, we get it. So now I need like a Carbink in the back that I one-shot. Not quite a Carbink. Honestly, that's... I don't know how good a Kingdra is. I know I resist the damage here quite a bit, but I think Kingdra is actually kind of scary. If I get a debuff, I'd be happy. Okay, I do get a debuff. But, like, now I need to get a Body Slam off with my Licky Licky. Or, like, somehow farm this down after they throw a Swift into us. I don't think 5 Fairy Winds, even after 2 defense drops, are enough. I think Kingdra is just too bulky. Oh my goodness, this is so sad. I'm like so close to winning this one, but not even close at all. This is literally an EUIC team. What are we doing with our lives? Oh my goodness, that sucks. Ah. Alright, we got our next opponent. We'll see Poliwrath into Macargo. Okay, wait, that's actually an insane lead. I wall this. I hard wall this. And everything I have on my team has super effective damage into it. So, honestly, I'm pretty fine with this. We do see a Volt Switch Fortress come in, which I don't love necessarily, but I think going for a Dynamic Punch here is not a terrible play. And then we can make their life a little bit tricky by coming in Licky Licky. Well, of course, they shield that, so honestly, maybe I don't come in Licky Licky. Maybe I just bring in my one weakness to Macargo, at least my worst weakness, that is. I know I'll take super effective Sand Tombs here, but I don't necessarily want to win this matchup. Well, I mean, I want to win it, but I know I'm not going to, because Volt Switch Fortress is so strong into us. But even after 2 Sand Tombs here, I should still survive and get a Gigaton Hammer, maybe a Bulldoze after the fact, too. Okay, yeah, we do survive that. Yeah, I get this move off. That's going to do a decent chunk of damage here. They've already shielded once, so I would be very surprised to see a second shield come through. Big Gigaton. Yeah, they do let it go. And I do get a Bulldoze, so, I mean, I get as much chip damage as I can here. Obviously, they have switched flip switch advantage, that's what the gamers say, which is not good for us, because there could be something in the backline that I really don't want to see with my Poliwrath, but potentially, the backline could also just be fine for us, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to try to go for a full farm down if I can. I'm fine taking 2 attacks here, because my Licky Licky is a trooper, and surely in the backline is not just like a charge of bug, like double Volt Switch using bug types. Although the amount of times I've seen teams like that recently is kind of crazy. Alright, we do get the full farm down. Macargo comes in here. We'll switch out. They likely swap instantly into something terrible. Wait, that's not that bad. Ludicolo? Hold on. That is actually pretty playable, I think. Because Dynamic Punch should 2-shot, and they only have Leaf Storm to 1-shot us, or to, like, do any real charge attack pressure. So, yeah, wait. We have the next Dynamic. I'm never going to bait here, because I feel like that's always a misplay. If I go for that and I miss the bait, then we're in a really bad spot. So, yeah, we get the shield. Okay. Do I win CMP as a Poliwrath into a Ludicolo? Does anyone know this? Because it could be really bad if I CMP and I lose CMP. I'm going to go for it. I lose CMP. Okay, well, I should survive a Weather Ball. So hopefully this doesn't lose us the game that I went for that CMP there. I shouldn't have, but it's fine. I have so much energy on Licky Licky that I think we're still fine. But, like, I kind of figured that a fighting type, like a Poliwrath, he has big muscles. Where's my attack stat? Alright. Well, let's just switch out here and go for as many Shadow Balls as we can. We still have some Mudshot damage we can get into them. And we should get 2 Shadow Balls before a Rock Tomb debuff. We have super effective damage here with the rollout. I think we're fine. Oh, yeah, that does so much. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. We tried to throw. We always do try to throw a little bit just for fun. But we still win. Alright, Shadow Ball comes through. I bet that CMP is pretty close between Ludicolo and Poliwrath. Because, I mean, it's not like Ludicolo is really an offensive Pokemon. It's got some attack to it, but not as much as some. And yeah, we just roll out down. We should be fine. That's a crazy team, but luckily I think we're about to beat it, despite the Volt Switch Fortress being a little bit scary into us, so GG's. Alright, next battle. Poliwrath up against a Shadow Annihilate. Yikes, that's kind of scary. What do I do here? Probably lose. But we'll go for the Icy Winds, because we can at least do a lot of neutral damage against them, keep their attack stat in check, and hopefully win the Zero Shield here just by going for 2 Icy Winds. But we'll see. My Licky Licky doesn't really want to see this, but I do know for a fact that Annihilate can do a lot of very crazy things in the Go Battle League, so I guess we'll figure it out. Looks like I don't win the zeros, though, because I don't actually two-shot with Icy Winds, but I think that's fine, because at least I do still get 2 Icy Winds off before they get their next move. They could catch this, but they're... okay, they don't. Did they shield? I would be a little bit saddened by a shield here. They do shield. I gotta switch. And hopefully my Tinkaton in the backline here is going to put in some work. They do throw energy against us, which I guess could be a good thing. It's a debuffed Rage Fist, so it's not going to do that much to us here. And if they stay in after the fact, that's still fine for us. Oh, they come in Furret. That's kind of a crazy Pokemon to bring into a Tinkaton, but they must be a little bit scared of what Tinkaton can do. They're at 6, so they have a Brick Break potentially. And that would hurt quite a bit if they do end up landing it. Gigaton Hammer, do we get a shield? Honestly, I'm pretty fine with a shield here. Because getting that shield should set up my Licky Licky later on this game. Yeah, they Brick Break. Nice. That is good to know that they have that. I wish I could catch here. Hopefully I didn't just lag a turn and not get that CMP off, but I'm going to be honest, it looked like I lagged a turn and didn't get that CMP off. We'll see what happens. Alright, Brick Break. Oh, I did get the CMP. That's good. And now, I guess we'll come in Licky Licky and hope for the best. Licky Licky here should be better now that the Annihilate's out of play. Or, like, lower on HP. Okay. Gonna be an interesting game. Meowscarada in the back line. Okay. I need a Shadow Ball for the Annihilate still. And I'm gonna take a lot of damage here, but can I two-shot with Body Slams? I can. That's good to know. 9. If they bait us here, they can get a... well, actually, if they bait, they get to 2 attacks anyway. If they want to go for a Night Slash. Okay, I'm bad at this game. I went for the Overfarm, expecting them to go for the Frenzy, or the Night Slash immediately, but they went for the Frenzy Plant. I'm so... oh, they went for a Night Slash only? Okay, hold on. But they get a boost, so they do more fast pressure into us. Love to see that. I don't love to see that, honestly. These fast moves are doing so much to us, and they do have a catch opportunity on that Furret still. So this game's going to be really dicey here, unfortunately, for us. Although I do have my Tinkaton still around. And we just get the Shadow Ball. Hold on. I think we're fine. I think we're actually just fine. Shadow Ball gets the knockout here. We have so much HP left over on our Tinkaton that I think we can just Fairy Wind or even Mudshot or roll out down the turret. Yeah, okay, we win. Even with that boost there. Luckily, boosting is not a +2 anymore, although that did make things a little bit dicey. Let's go. All right, next opponent. We'll see Poliwrath into Tinkaton. All right, well, we saw this a little bit earlier. It's a pretty neutral matchup, but... you know, there might be things in the backline Poliwrath would rather see, so we'll see. But, like, resisting Gigaton Hammer is always such a nice thing in this matchup, so we'll see what happens here. I'm going to overfarm, because just in case they do switch into something that I want to have some energy for, that's going to be a good thing, and it's not like I necessarily need to land a Gigaton Hammer immediately. So now we'll go for the Dynamic Punch, and he is out of Bulldoze in just a second here, our opponent, so I have to make sure that we don't let them get that before my next Dynamic is reached. CMP them. Looks like that was not a CMP. Actually, they overfarm, but that's still fine, because since I'm in Bulldoze range, they're probably going to go for that. I might be able to go for a catch at some point. They're at 6, 7, 8, 9. Or I guess they just don't know how quick Poliwrath is. Here we get to another move. Maybe I should have Icy Winded, because they likely go for the shield here, right? Yeah, they actually double shield their Tinkaton. That's crazy. I'll bring in Licky Licky, just because I feel like that is going to force them to go Gigaton Hammer more likely. And then at this point, we'll see what they do in the backline. Well, I say as they go for a Bulldoze bait, and they get a debuff, so now I have to double shield my Licky Licky. Incredible bait by them. Like, unironically, that is such a big brain play to go for. I have to hope that my Tinkaton now in the backline just closes out. Oh. Well, actually, this bails me out a little bit. Like, it's maybe a little bit awkward if they have access to Brick Break, but we'll see what happens. They're at a move right now. I think that might have just been a Swift. Yeah, they didn't even Trailblaze. I was kind of expecting a Trailblaze first no matter what. Like, I was never expecting a Swift first, is all I can say. They're at 5, so another move coming through, but it's just going to be a small little Swift once again. And I can go for a Gigaton Hammer and go for a Farm Down after the fact, banking a lot of energy for the backline. Kind of surprised they wouldn't boost their attack stat, right? Big Gigaton. And since they're not on Brick Breaker, Licky Licky's honestly not that scared of it either. Yeah, we have so much energy coming out of this. We can Bulldoze their Tinkaton if we have to. They don't even get another Swift off there. Tinkaton's insane. I don't know if there's a lot that can actually beat us from this point now. All right, we'll go for the Bulldoze here. I have to throw it to make sure that I don't take a Bulldoze myself. I don't want to get any unnecessary chip damage, but I should land a Gigaton plus a Shadow Ball into anything in the game. And honestly, Licky Licky's in a pretty good spot in the backline as well. Oh my goodness, trainer. Unless they're on Shadow Ball, I hard wall them with my Tinkaton. And even if they are on Shadow Ball, like my Licky Licky after a Gigaton Hammer is in such a good matchup. Wow, well, Mandibuzz was not exactly what I was expecting to see in the backline here. Okay, we'll go for an attempt at a Shadow Ball catch, but, like, it doesn't matter if we fail it. I just don't want my Tinkaton to die, especially to a Mandibuzz here. But we should be very good at this point. Foul play, yeah. I'm kind of surprised they're still playing this one out. Like, what possible hope does a Mandibuzz have into a Licky Licky Tinkaton backline when I've already landed a Gigaton Hammer and I have 2 Body Slams? That's what I want to know. Dude, they're still playing it out. Okay, kids, don't try this one at home. But if the opponent plays a game out this long, then they do not respect you. Oh, okay. Actually, I respect them a little bit more going for that. I was going to say, I'm going to BM them really hard. I'm only going to BM them, like, a little bit harder now. I was going to go for, like, the Shadow Ball Undercharge into the swap out Bulldoze play with my Tinkaton, but since they Shadow Balled me, I respect that. I'll just go for the straight-up Shadow Ball myself. Okay. All right, Poliwrath into Grumpig. Not a great lead matchup. Not at all. I'm going to bring in my Licky Licky here, because I know at this point, Licky Licky at least has Shadow Ball that I can throw into them, which isn't terrible. But they likely go for just like a Dynamic Punch chip and dip. They'll swap into their own Licky Licky or something maybe even more annoying, which I guess we'll see what that might be. Big Dynamic Punch, we shield that up. They do swap eventually into a Digger's Beam. Okay. Honestly, I don't hate this. It's not great, but like, at least it's not the worst thing, and at least I didn't Shadow Ball it. Right? So we'll go for another Body Slam. I do need to go for 2 Body Slams to stall the Switch Clock, but I want to bank as much energy as I can, and at some point I want to come back in with my Poliwrath if they let me. Okay. So we switch right when we can. That gives us the maximum amount of play with our Poliwrath right now. We have energy on our Licky Licky that we banked, but they have some energy as well on the other guy, the Grumpig, which I don't love. Oh, okay. We actually force him to throw an attack here just to avoid taking a move. That's actually really nice. That's not super ideal for them. I'm not going to debuff them first, because I want them to get less farm out of us here, so let them do as many side waves before I clear the debuff as possible. Or before, like, I debuff them, I should say. Alright. They instantly throw against Licky Licky. Alright. I guess I should have gone for a rollout sneak. But I think we're still in a playable spot here, as long as we can chip down this Grumpig a bit more. We survive that, that's nice. I would be upset if they go for a no-shield, though, now. A no-shield at this point would be a little bit tricky to deal with. Yeah, I've fumbled this game quite a bit. Because that Diggersby in the backline just sweeps us. I guess I should have just brought in my Licky Licky and went for a rollout sneak instead, and then Shadow Ball at some point. I wasn't expecting the instant Dynamic Punch throw. Not a bad play on their end. Okay. Go for a potential Gigaton Hammer as soon as we can here. I need to try to stall the Switch Clock if possible, and I need to get Bulldoze debuffs too. You get a Shield Please debuff. Okay. That's like maybe, if they're really for some reason weak to my Tinkaton here, a chance. I should have gone for another Bulldoze bait probably, but I'm not going to risk a second bait right now. We're going to just full send and try to get a knockout. I didn't see a shield animation, and that's honestly one of the most annoying things about this game, when you think that you just landed the move, but you don't. We can switch CMP Sack Swap, maybe? Looks like that was a CMP Sack Swap, so as long as the final Pokemon is cripplingly weak to Tinkaton, maybe there's still a chance here. A lot more damage than it could have been thanks to our Bulldoze debuff. They probably fully undercharged this, though, to get more energy out of us and only take rollout fast move pressure, which is a good play on their part. Yep. It's close, actually. But it's not the dragon we needed to see. We don't one-shot that with a Gigaton Hammer, not even the Shadow variant. Alright, next opponent. We'll see Poliwrath up against a Quagsire. Okay, non-Shadow. Interesting. I do kind of wonder at this point, if a non-Shadow Quagsire gets two-shot by Dynamic Punch, they're not going to let us see. They just switch instantly here into a Fearow. And since I don't have a hard answer to this, I mean, I have Licky Licky, that's kind of a good answer, but it's not actually as good as you'd think. I'm going to go for an Icy Wind Chip and Dip. This is super effective. It should be able to put them into single Body Slam range, maybe even roll out down range, which would be really nice. Honestly, I think I can roll out all the way down and just take 2 Drill Pecks here because they're debuffed. They should be at 9 right now, so 4. 5. Yeah, I just roll out down. 6, 7, 8. Not even a chance they get another move through, so this is looking pretty good for us. They might not bring in the Quagsire, though. They could always bring in their 3rd Pokemon. And it could just be, like, double flying, too, so maybe they... they might not want to do that, actually. Alright, who comes in? It is the Quagsire. 1, 2... So they're 2 more Mudshots away from their next Aqua Tail, potentially, but the best thing is I do have enough energy already for a Shadow Ball here after this first one. So I can just double Shadow Ball, and then go for Body Slams after. They're at 4, so they have access to an Aqua Tail. They'd have to throw after, like, 1 or 2. I guess they could go on 3 if they want to go for a CMP, but... oh, wow. I wish I was a better fighting type right now. I wish I was a real fighting type. But it's fine. We'll get shields down. They Ice Punch bait, okay. Well, you throw the ice move, I'm going to throw the ice move. Surely this is not a bad idea. They're at 2 right now. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty obvious no-shield by them. How are we both going to, like, CMP here? Of course we CMP on this. That's crazy. That's, like, a really smart play by them. Somehow. Like, somehow that's a really smart play. Overfarm as much as they did. But I have my next Icy Wind already, and they can't keep no-shielding attacks. So at this point, they're kind of forced to shield this. And I don't think I get Powder Snow down here. Actually, I do. Uh-oh. Game looking scary. Game looking slightly less scary if they switch out. I take less from a Quagsire than I would from a Alolan Sandslash. Especially on Aqua Tail, okay. But what's their moveset actually? Because they could still have Mud Bomb, they're just hiding it. Okay, well, I get the full farm down. That should be game, right? Yeah, okay. That was kind of dicey. I should have just Dynamic Punched, but I guess it worked out in the end. Next opponent here. We'll see Poliwrath up against a Shadow Charizard. Okay, what's the fast move? It's on Wing Attack, that's bad. If it's on Dragon Breath or Ember, it's only, like, slightly bad. And it is Ember, so, like, that's actually kind of fine. Like, it's not amazing, but... you know, it could be worse. I'll let the first one go, because I know Air Cutter could boost their attack stat. Like, even though I can debuff them here, I'm going to bait at least going for a Scald, so maybe we get a shield. But we probably don't. AC Wind lands, okay. Try to go for a catch here, but we don't get it. But I do get some rollouts against them, which isn't bad. But they have a lot of energy on that Charizard, which is very bad. So we'll see how that plays out later on. I think it might be a Licky Licky in the backline if this is the same trainer that I've seen for a couple of days. But if I can bank some energy in this matchup, then we might not be in a terrible spot. And bring back in my Poliwrath to try to bait something back out here. I need that Charizard to come back out while my Licky Licky is still around. Gonna be a long game. Gonna be a very long game. I only have one Pokemon that's, like, even somewhat neutral into Umbreon. I'm kind of sad that it's against my my Licky Licky right now instead of my Tinkaton or my Poliwrath being here. A little bit tragic, but that's fine. Alright, big Bulldoze, or big Body Slam, rather. If I could catch a move, that'd be great. Okay, we can't catch, but we're still not in a terrible spot here, because I have a lot of energy on Licky Licky. I can bring back in my Poliwrath, likely baiting back out that Charizard. Okay. I will shield this up, because, I mean, at this point, it's not like I can't Icy Wind them. I don't think they're going to be at back-to-back Air Cutters, are they? They better not be. Okay, good. And they did boost, but I can lower that attack stat back down with Icy Wind. So that's good. And if it is what I think in the backline, then we should be in a better spot. Okay. Honestly, I might consider shielding this. Just because I could guarantee this Pokemon goes down if they let it go. And I wouldn't mind getting rid of this Charizard, honestly. So Yeah, I'm going to shield that up, and we'll see what they actually have in the backline. If it is the Licky Licky, then we're not in a terrible spot. Okay, they do let that go. Makes some sense. What are they going to bring in to finish us off here? It is Licky Licky, okay. Oh, they would have let me get a move off there. But they overfarm, which isn't a terrible play by them. 6. If they're on Earthquake, this could hurt. If they're on Shadow Ball, I know I survive pretty easily. But I have a lot of energy on Licky Licky. Oh, they're actually on Earthquake. Crazy. That is maybe the first time I've ever seen someone on Earthquake Licky Licky, but that's going to come in clutch for them right now. Gigaton Hammer should be able to get a lot of damage. Maybe a shield? We get a shield, so that's something. I think they still have to Earthquake us to knock us out. I don't think Body Slam's enough from this range. So I should land a Dynamic Punch with my Poliwrath at least. Okay, yeah. And we get this move off, which is helpful. I don't know if this knocks out, though. And they do still have that Umbreon around, which is kind of healthy. They survive a lot better than I would have liked to see. I think I lose this game, unfortunately. I think that Umbreon's too healthy at this point. And I'm in a range where, like, one attack plus even Snarls could potentially knock us out. I need 3 Body Slams into Umbreon at the very least here. But I am, like, 4 away from a move on my Poliwrath, which maybe that can make something happen, but I don't know. I need to get, like, a catch here this game, and I don't think that's gonna happen. Dude, Earthquake Licky Licky is actually bailing them out so hard. I hate that, but it's happening. Yeah, I'm not on a 2 cycle, so there's not even, like, a chance that I could win this, unfortunately. Ah, that's so close, but so far. That's so devastating. But we almost got a win there. I wonder what we could have done to win that one, because I feel like there were ways to win it, but they played very well. We got a 3-2 still, which isn't a terrible set to get here, but could have been better, I think. Could have been a lot better. You know, Poliwrath worked out at least a little bit here today. I feel like it's not the best fighting-type Pokemon in the meta right now. You're not really doing a lot of fighting-type damage unless you land Dynamic Punch, so you're really reliant on landing Charge Attacks, but you have that Icy Wind utility, which is pretty unique, and it is a lot of fun to use. Give it a go if you want to try out Poliwrath. But yeah, thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.